Okay, so as AI agents get smarter and, frankly, more independent, we're staring down a huge question. Can we actually trust them? Today, we're going to crack open the blueprint for building AI that isn't just intelligent, but is fundamentally secure and safe from the ground up. And this quote from our source material, man, it just nails it. An AI that isn't secure isn't just a buggy piece of software. It's a ticking time bomb. It's a liability. And that's the massive challenge we're diving into right now. This all leads us to what we could call the trust imperative. The more we ask AI to do for us, the more we rely on it, the more absolute our trust has to be. It's not good enough for an AI to get the right answer. It has to be secure, it has to protect our data at every single step. So, how do we actually build that trust? Well, the good news is it's not some kind of dark art or guesswork. There's a solid blueprint. Let's walk through the 3 fundamental security pillars that form the foundation of any trustworthy AI. Okay, this table really helps break a huge problem down into 3 manageable parts. Think of your data like it's a priceless diamond. Data in transit is the armored truck moving it from place to place. Data at rest is the super secure vault where it's stored, and data in use, well, that's like a privacy shield that goes up around the diamond while the jeweler is working on it. Let's look at each one. First up, data in transit. This is all about that armored truck. Any information moving between you, the AI, or any other system has to travel on a secure, encrypted road, period, no exceptions. Next, data at rest. So, once the armored truck arrives, that diamond needs to be locked down, right? That's what this is. It means encrypting your databases, your log files, basically building that impenetrable digital vault. And finally, we get to data in use. And for AI, this one is absolutely critical. This is what happens while the model is actually thinking with your data. We have to put up those privacy screens, using things like PII redaction to make sure sensitive bits are hidden from view. Yeah, that last point about redaction is the perfect lead-in to what is honestly the most critical part of this whole security framework. I'm talking about PII sanitization. This is your number one, your absolute first line of defense. So what in the world is PII? Well, it stands for Personally Identifiable Information, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Names, addresses, phone numbers, you name it. In the world of AI, if this stuff leaks, it's a disaster. We're not just talking about an oopsie, we're talking about identity theft, financial fraud, and a complete and total collapse of user trust. This is the stuff we have to protect. So a really solid PII strategy isn't a band-aid you put on later. No way. It has to be a proactive shield. It all happens right at the AI gateway. You intercept the data, you scrub it clean, you redact the sensitive parts, and you make absolutely sure the LLM, the brain of the operation, never even sees the raw sensitive stuff. This stops leaks before they can even start. Okay, so we've got the tech safeguards locked down, but that's only half the battle, right? To build real trust, AI has to play by the rules. And that means we have to navigate the, let's be honest, pretty complicated world of legal and regulatory compliance. You've probably heard of some of these big ones. These aren't suggestions, they are the law with very real consequences. You've got GDPR in Europe, HIPAA for healthcare in the US, CCPA in California. They all set a really high bar for protecting data. Any AI that wants to play in the big leagues has to be built with this stuff baked in from the very beginning. So what does compliance actually mean in the real world? It really comes down to some basic rights. Data sovereignty is all about asking, hey, where does my data physically live? The right to be forgotten gives you, the user, the power to say, delete my data. And explainability. This one's huge. It means the AI can't just be a black box. It has to be able to explain why it made a certain decision. It has to be a transparent partner. All right, so let's take a step back. After all this hard work, implementing the security pillars, setting up PII sanitization, checking all the compliance boxes, what's the payoff? What do we get? We get an AI agent that isn't just powerful, but is genuinely trustworthy. An AI that people and businesses can actually rely on. I mean, when you put it side by side like this, the choice is pretty stark, isn't it? One road leads to data leaks, legal nightmares, and a complete loss of user trust. The other path, well, that leads to protected data, regulatory peace of mind, and the kind of deep user trust that actually builds lasting value. It's a no-brainer.
And that brings us to the single most important thing to take away from all this. Security and compliance are not features. They're not something you add on later like optional extras on a car. They are the foundation. They are non-negotiable. For any AI to be taken seriously, trust has to be coded right into its DNA from day one.
And that leaves us with one last, really big question to chew on. As these AI agents get more and more independent, who's on the hook when they mess up? Who is ultimately responsible? Building them on this foundation of trust and security is our best first step, for sure. But that question of ultimate responsibility, that's something we're all going to have to answer together.